Hello, hello. Welcome back, guys. This is the She Who Leads podcast. And in today's episode, I am talking about why you're not seeing your purpose while the pieces are actually right in front of you. So, that is a very interesting topic, and I see it all the time with my clients that they are searching for their purpose. They're searching for that calling, that the soul pull that would give a meaning to their lives, right? And when we start to work together, I realized like very, very quickly, like that it's right in front of them. Like the purpose is so tangible, it's so there. Like at least the first section of the purpose is like very, very visible. Yet they are super blind to it, super blind. Like it's almost befuddling me at this point. And I had a lot of contemplation and looking into this, like why this happens. So this is what I am sharing with you today, because when you will start to see actually how you are blocking yourself from seeing your purpose, it will create like a mind-blown clarity in your life of like, oh, okay, there's a puzzle piece and there's a puzzle piece and oh, that's also a puzzle piece. And it will be just a whole different thing to experience. Right off the bat, if you want help with that, if you feel like, oh, actually, I have no idea what my purpose is, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't have any pieces in front of me, I assure you, you have. I am offering a free clarity call, which is completely complimentary for you, where we can actually look in and see, okay, what are some puzzle pieces right now? What are some purpose pieces right now that you are maybe blind to, that are actually right in front of you right now, that can lead you to the direction of seeing why you are here, seeing what you are meant to do, seeing what is the unique thing that only you can bring into this world, and also how you can build a business around it. So we can do that in the free session. The link is in the description below. And let's dive into this episode further. So first, to again just clear it out very quickly for those of you who this is the first episode that you listen to with me. So what is purpose? When I talk about purpose, I talk about that one thing that you are here to create, the one thing that your soul chose to create. And when I say one thing, that's like a very for the lack of better word, like a limiting way to look at it. So there is this one overarching theme for everyone that would be their purpose. That's something that entails a lot of different solutions sometimes for seemingly different problems, but at the end they somehow connect back together to one thing that they are really here to add to the world. So that is the purpose, that is the soul pull. And that's your first block here, because a lot of people are looking for like one solution, like one lifetime thing that I'm here to do, which the soul pull a lot of the times won't be it. Soul pull, purpose, I use them interchangeably. They are, let's just use them as synonyms for now. And a lot of people look for something like, for like a career path, right? Like, my purpose is to be a coach. My purpose is to be a pottery master. My purpose is to be, I don't know, a doctor. And though those can be manifestations of your purpose, those can be stages of your purpose, they not the theme, they're not really the pull that you are here to achieve. There's always an underlying theme of the purpose, which can again like manifest in a lot of different ways. And where people go wrong with this a lot of the times, where people like start doubting and questioning all the different pieces around them, that they first of all they see pieces that are somehow like very different, look like, oh, they are two very separate directions. And then they get paralyzed, like, oh my God, which one do I choose? Like, because in their head, if I choose this, I cannot choose that. And that's a discussion for a whole different topic, why that's not true and how that really works. But that's one thing that like confuses people a lot. I also, again, like see this way of, oh, they are expecting things to be in a certain way. So expectations, those are the play of the ego. Ego loves to put expectations on everything. And we also put expectation on our purpose, right? We expect our purpose to be super clear. We expect our purpose to be very straightforward. We expect our purpose to last for a lifetime in the same form that we found it in the first place. And those are simply not true. This isn't how the purpose, this isn't how the soul pool works. The soul pool is a living, breathing, organic thing. How you change, it changes with you. How you shift, it will shift with you, which means on the outside, it can be, oh, okay, so for now, my purpose looks like this, but maybe 3 years from now, your purpose will look seemingly very differently. Not for you, because you are in the process, and for you, that's the most natural way of evolution. But from the outside, it can look like this person changes their career, their direction, their sense of self every three years, which again, it's not true. You're not changing you're changing yourself. You're basically getting back to your core self, like during this process of fulfilling your purpose. We are actually in the process of getting back to our core self, or true selves, or soul selves, who we are actually meant to be in this lifetime. And the more you get back to your soul self, the more you will change according to the outside world. And the more your preferences will change, the more your gifts will open up, the more you start to dive into topics that you didn't dare to dive in before. And that would again look like from the outside of you basically changing your mind over and over again, which is not true. You're just expanding. The purpose is expanding. It's its job to expand, because your purpose is not meant to be something small. It's meant to be something vast in the best possible way, in the most amazing way that is possible. And yes, I know it can be frightening, like, oh my God, I have this huge thing to accomplish. It's not even like that. It's just like the vast in a sense of you have the potential to affect a lot of people. You have the potential to help, to change in a big way, to make a big difference. Everyone has that potential. And that's what I mean by the soul pool being vast. It has the vast opportunity for you to grow. It has a bottomless vastness to this, which is so beautiful, so magical. And yeah, a little bit frightening, especially to your ego. So the soul pool is this. The soul pool is something unique that only you can achieve. No one else in this world. And that is also something that I feel like confuses people a lot. That, oh, if I am interested in something that is already been done, that must be not my purpose. And no, the answer is no, like a very straightforward no. Like, the fact that you're interested in something that you seemingly believe that someone else already does would never ever imply that that's not your soul pool. It would actually just imply that, oh, okay, there's something in here in this direction that my soul wants to explore, and that I have the possibility, I have the capability, I have the gifts to transform, to make it better, to make it different, to bring in a new angle that no one else ever thought of. That's the only thing that it means. Not that, oh, that's already been done, I don't have to deal with this. It doesn't work like this. So even though things that you are drawn to may seem like, oh, these are actually already existing things, don't dismiss them as like, oh, okay, that's not my soul pool. That's not part of my purpose. That definitely is not something unique that I can bring to the world, because hello, it's done. Again, it's not how it works. And I've been talking about this a lot in this podcast. Like, go back I will try to figure out which episodes did I talk about this. I'll link it in the show notes. But your uniqueness is a very, very big part of your purpose. And when you are rooted into this uniqueness, when you are rooted into how you are actually unique on every level possible, anything that you create, anything that you touches will become unique. Even if 100,000 other people doing the same thing, how you are doing it will be uncopyable. So that's a very, very big part of this. Now, so what I want you to understand a bit what the soul wants, because I really believe that we need to understand a bit more how the soul operates, because again, like, the purpose is coming from the soul. The soul set this soul pool, the soul defined this purpose for itself for this lifetime, because fulfilling this purpose will bring it immense amount of growth. And that's the number one thing that the soul wants, is to grow, is to experience itself, and through that process become its most authentic version, become itself the most, without the conditioning, without all the beliefs, the limitations, the fears, and everything else. Strip that down and become its true, unique self. That's the main desire of the soul. And that's how the purpose is actually built, in a way that it leads you to the most intense amount of growth as a soul and also as a human, of course. So that's one thing that the soul wants, and that's why the soul wants this purpose so much. There's a lot of things why the soul wants the purpose so much, but that's one of the big things why the soul wants this purpose, because it knows that, oh, actually, this will give me the type of growth that I want for this lifetime, that I am striving for, that I am craving, that it's like built into my DNA to want. And that's one thing. Another thing that the soul wants is to connect. So we're not here in this earth to be alone, to be lonely, to change the world on our own. So a very big desire of the soul, again, like a soul desire, is to connect with people, is to connect with others, to connect with nature, to connect with animals, like really find the connections, the type of connections that, oh my God, nourishes the soul. Because everyone's soul will be different. The connection that nourish me won't be the connections that nourish you, the type of connections, the deepness, the topics, or whatever. So that needs to be like considered. But it's also a very big part of what the soul desires. So with this in mind, your purpose will have some kind of element of connection. What connection exactly will again depend on your soul, depend on your gifts, your desires, and your purpose itself. But the purpose has the element of connection to others. Again, others is a big, I don't know the word for it. It's a big thing here, meaning it can be people, it can be nature, it can be animals, it can be, I don't know, the universe, energy, like basically anything and any mix of these. And the third thing, again, the soul desires more than 3 things, obviously, but I am listing you the 3 most important things right now that I see come up over and over and over and again in the coaching that I'm doing with clients, that actually tends to put pieces in place with them. So the third thing is that the soul is here to serve. The soul desires to add to the universe, to contribute to Earth, to contribute to others, to generate value, to leave this place a bit better than it found it. And because of this, the purpose, your purpose, will have some kind of an element of service. Not in a literal sense of service. Yes, of course, it can be like a literal service of, I don't know, coaching service, marketing service, whatever type of service, but service of serving people, helping people, helping solving problems for people, for animals, for the environment. Again, the list goes on of how the soul wants to serve. That is actually very specific to every single soul. But the element is very much in there. So your purpose definitely will have some kind of service or added value, or the perception of added value in it. And that actually, that last thought leads me into my next thought of why we are not seeing this. And I already mentioned a few things in the beginning, but there are a couple of things that actually I see in clients literally blocking them. Like, it's basically almost like they have like these weird goggles on that like are blocking all the pieces of the purpose for them. And when I look in on the coaching sessions, either intuitively or just like from a conversation, for me, it's so obvious what their purpose should be, what their purpose is, what the next level of the purpose is that they need to go for. And it amazes me every single time that they just cannot see it. And if I point it out, which actually I don't do anymore until they're ready, and I only did it once and it did not go well. So, the thing is that when you point out to someone their purpose and they are not ready for that, they will reject it. They will reject it. They can reject it so hard that they actually go to a different direction. So that's something to be very mindful of when you are working with the purpose. Not for yourself, because for yourself, it's always only the pieces surface that you are ready to receive. So that's good there. But what happens on the other side, a lot of the times, there are a lot of pieces floating around you, like literally like bumping in your shoulders and in your head all the time. And you just cannot see it. You just dismiss it. And the very first reason of this is basically, well, I said, like, maybe you're not ready. So that can be it. And I always check this with my clients, if their souls are ready to actually start to live their purpose, if their soul is ready actually to just like going in the direction of the purpose. Because again, the whole trajectory of being able to fulfill the purpose, it doesn't really start with like, oh, I am knowing my purpose now and then I am starting to fulfill it. There's basically a prerequisite to being able to see your purpose, which is healing a lot of things from your past, your traumas, your imbalances, your self-image, which then piece by piece will lead you to the state of mind where you actually won't be rejecting that purpose. You won't be saying, like, when someone shows you on a silver platter, like, see, this would be the thing that you are here to create. You won't be like, there's no way. There's just no way in this world that I am able to do this. But you will be like, yeah, I can see it. I can really see it. I'm not sure how, but I can see it happening. So that's a very different state of mind. So again, what is blocking here? Two blocks are here. Why you are not seeing this? First is you are really, really far from your core self. So meaning that if you being your core self would be like 100%, like you 100% being your true self, acting your true self all the time, making decisions from that place, like that would be 100%. A lot of people are way below 10%. I wanna say like way below 5%. All of their lifetimes. Like, imagine that you are basically 95% not who you really are. That this is what this means. And this is true for a lot of people. Even the ones who are actually like working a lot on themselves. Like, again, it will be based on like different definitions of what core self means. But again, to really embody who you are, that takes a lot of understanding who you are and a lot of acting as that self, which again will go against a lot of things that you learn to be true. Will go against a lot of things that you believe to be true about yourself. So, for example, in my situation, I learned so much about who my core self is. I mentioned this in my previous podcast. So I actually recently realized that my soul self is actually a minimalist. So she doesn't like to have a lot of stuff. She really doesn't like to have a lot of clothes. She likes to have like good quality clothes, but doesn't want a lot. And for the first 35 years of my life, I was a hoarder. Like, I had so much stuff. I had so many clothes. I was unable to give away clothes. Like, I was just like getting them and getting them and getting them. And again, it was coming from a self-image wound of why I wasn't being able to, donate them or like give away what I didn't need anymore. But when I like shifted that and then went in and really like without mercy, just like gave away everything that I felt like, oh, okay, this is not serving me. Since then, I cannot explain to you the difference I feel in my own home. It feels spacious, it feels free, it feels like there's room to grow, to evolve. Like, it's almost like it's easier to breathe in a sense. It's crazy. And now I can really see why my soul self would be like a minimalist. But just thinking back like 5 years ago, I don't think I would have been able to do this. So again, this all goes into a process. Another fun story for this is that I've been like playing intuitively with what type of sports would be the best for me for cardio or weight loss or building muscle and stuff like that. And I got that. So for cardio, actually, the best possible exercise, what my soul self would love, what would be the most effective, what would be like the over the top thing, would be power walking, which I have to tell you, I will be very honest right now, I am very not ready. Like, imagining myself outside doing power walks while people are walking by, because I don't have a track around me, so I have to be able to do this. Like, we have a river here. I live next to a river, so like on the riverside, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And actually, like, when I check intuitively, I get like, yeah, I'm not supposed to do that yet because I'm not really ready to do that yet. Because again, I'm that far from that version of my soul self who is actually enjoying this, because right now it would bring up more resentment and fears and stuff. Again, I could be doing it, but that's a whole other thing, like how intuition comes into play in your life and when you do things and why you don't do things that are, it is good for you, but not now. So that's a whole other thing. Maybe I do a podcast episode about that if that interests you. But the point is that shows that actually a lot of the times we are not really our soul selves. And to be able to see your purpose, to be able to know, okay, so this is what I am here to do, you have to have the identities that back up that, oh, okay, I can actually do this. Because if you get, like I said, get a piece of your purpose that is so vast and so like monumental that you don't have the identities, you don't have your soul self identities yet locked in to back that up, to hold that, to give a foundation to that, you will crumble into pieces. You will run so hard the other way, you won't even look back. And just looking at my journey, seeing that, okay, what are the things that I am doing wrong? What are the things that I know I should be doing and I am able to teach and I'm able to help with people? If I just 1 year ago, not even going far back, just 1 year ago, someone would have listed these things to me, I would be like, you're crazy, man. Like, there's just no way. What? That's not even possible to do. Like, how would you expect me to figure this out? How would you expect me to be able to do this in 1 year? You're delusional. Like, and I would be like, I'm not even starting with this because this is ludicrous. So, and this is just 1 year. 1 year ago, I had no idea of how like the intricate ways of using intuition. Like, it's just crazy. Like, 1 year can literally change your life so much that you won't even recognize your life if you look at it. But again, that then goes back into you continuously getting back to your core self and building in those identities that actually your soul chose you to have, but they are blocked by all the fears and limitations and subconscious and conscious thoughts and conditioning that we brought up on ourselves while we were brought up. What a fun little pun there. So, and that leads me again to another thing that kind of like blocks us with this whole purpose thing, the conditioning that we have. We have conscious and subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs that are not ours, that we took on because they were keeping us safe. You took on pleasing people because you could only get attention from your parents that way. You took on overachieving or perfectionism because the only way they praised you was if you, I don't know, overachieved in school. You became silent and did not talk much because you were told you are too much in school or with other kids. And then you wanted to have friends and you wanted to fit in. So you started to draw back and talk less and not show much out of yourself, because that's how you felt like, oh, okay, so if I am quiet, if I'm the quiet type, then I will have friends. And of course, a kid wants friends. So a kid will do this. And again, it is not conscious, especially at the kid age. It is not conscious, it is unconscious. The soul chooses these on purpose, again, because those will lead the lessons you learn where you untangle all of this, all of the conditioning that you took on, the lessons you learn where you are getting back to your core self will bring you in more puzzle pieces of what is actually the purpose that you are here to fulfill. How it is actually, what are the things that you are actually able to help with people. So that's a very important piece of the puzzle. But when you are not dealing with these conditionings and you live your life by them, you are still pleasing people, you are still putting people in front of you, you are still not sharing your opinion because, again, hello, you're the quiet type. You you are craving to be a motivational speaker, but you actually are afraid to even start a podcast. Those are all the conditioning, the limiting beliefs, the fears, the subconscious blocks that you have, that you took on, that are keeping you from becoming your core self. And with this, keeping you from seeing the pieces of the puzzles that are actually already around you and could surface if you would start to like let these go. This is something, again, like this whole thing is what we are actually laser focused on in the coaching, what I do with clients, because when you start to let go of who you are not and bring in who you really are, like consciously build in, not even build in the, I want to call it building the ingredients, building the identities, but I more see it like now evoking the identities that are already in you, but they are so far behind the back of the closet that you don't even like, you know those type of clothes that you like shove back in the back of the closet, and like every, I don't know, like 5 years from now you just like get out everything and then you realize you have this amazing piece of clothing that you did not wear for the last 5 years and is still in style and this is that fits you perfectly. Like that is basically how we shove these true identities that we have in the back of our minds, basically in the back of our subconscious. And there are ways to evoke those, there are ways to strengthen those instead of the conditioning that you have. And this is where self-image healing comes into play, which again, the low self-image, the self-image blocks, the emotional imbalances that you have will make you believe that you don't have a purpose, will make you believe that even though there are a lot of proofs that you actually do have a purpose, and there's a puzzle piece, and there's a puzzle piece, and there's like 1,000 puzzle pieces, you will be blind to them because you will see yourself like this. And I am, for anyone who listens on Spotify, like I am showing a very, very small amount instead of being like this, like a huge version of yourself, a vast version of yourself, like your purpose. And self-image, the wounds that you have, the imbalances that you have, again, will make you believe that you don't have the capabilities to create something, that you are not even able to acquire those capabilities, even though no matter how hard you tried. They make you believe that you're not enough, not unique, not valuable. People don't need you. Like basically you are nothing. And again, like I am showing the extreme here, but a lot of people start from this extreme. They don't even realize, but every single conditioning that you took on started with a self-image imbalance. You feeling like you need to please people started with a self-image balance. You feeling like you have to be perfect started with a self-image balance. You feeling like you cannot share your opinion, guess what? Started with a self-image balance. Everything that we experience, these three things that I listed now, being your core self, your self-image wounds, and your blocks and subconscious thoughts and current identities, are all playing together in a perfect loop to keep you blind from your purpose until you start to change one or all three of them, which is the most effective way that you can do this, when you like consciously focus, focus way, like start changing all three. Like that is what we do in the coaching, and I love it. It's so amazing to see like changes and shifts so quickly. I have one client, I have a bunch of clients to be honest, who experience it, but I have one in particular who she just was the perfect example of this. When we started working together, so we had 6 sessions together altogether, and when we started working together, I remember like after at the end of the first session, I wrote it down on my notes what her purpose should be, like what her next step of the purpose should be. On the first session, it was just so freaking clear to me, and I knew, like intuitively knew, that she's not ready. So basically, the next 5 sessions that we had was about me going through these 3 sections that I told you, basically proving herself from all the different angles, that, oh, actually, this points to this direction. Did you see it? Oh, this points to this direction. Actually, your capabilities, like if you look into your capabilities and see like which ones are the strongest, which one your soul chose to you, oh, this shows that in this direction. Interesting, doesn't it? So, and basically by session 5, she actually said it herself, like, oh my God, it's so crazy that like everything that we talked about so far actually proves the exact same thing. I'm like, what a coincidence. And this is how blind we can be to things. She had a lot of wounds around. So her purpose is to be an art therapist, basically, or the next section of her purpose is to be an art therapist. And she had a lot of wounds around even like believing that she has a talent for drawing. Like she was very, very far in the low self-image, because she had a trauma with a teacher who told her that she actually cannot draw. And that was something that we needed to address and start to shift. So for her to actually be able to realize her gifts of actually she is a very good artist. She is an artist, like not the very, like she's an artist. Like we started there like, oh, actually you're an artist, like can you see it? And also talking about like the nervous system of how she was resisting the new version of herself because it didn't feel safe. So there are like a lot of components that went into this that she needed to be able to then, oh, okay, I see this for myself. And actually by session 6, she came back and told me that, oh, actually she already applied to an art therapy program. So she's on track. She's on track with her purpose. It was this easy. It was this freaking easy. And it could be this easy for you too, when you have the right tools, when you have the right pieces, when you can get off the goggles or the goggle, or because sometimes it's almost like we take off a goggle and there's another goggle, and then we take off a goggle and there is another goggle. So it's a fun thing to detangle. But when you have the tools and the ways to make sense of all this, and again, let go all of the things that are blocking you right now, the negatives, the identities, the conditioning that is not you, and bring in the identities that your soul actually chose for you to have, let them resurface and root into those as your unique innate gifts and powers, the purpose will be so freaking clear you cannot not see it from that point. It's just not possible. This is what we do in the coaching, and this is what works like a charm, because it's just really this simple. And again, sometimes like being in the process could feel like, oh, I am just more confused than ever. But again, it's almost like, when you have a snow globe and there's nothing happening, and then you shake the snow globe and it's like so crazy, like flakes everywhere, and then it's just like start to settle, and it's almost like a new image in that. Like that is kind of the process that leads to every new stage of the soul pool, every new stage of the purpose, because the shift is always filled with uncertainty because you don't really know what will happen. That's just really part of the process that you kind of need to get on board with. I will do an episode on uncertainty like soon, because I am having a lot of fun experience with that right now. So when I have my insights from it, you will be the first to hear it. But for now, just like be okay with that. Like uncertainty is part of the process, and it doesn't mean that you are on the wrong path. It actually means that you are getting to the next level of your path. So what you can do to get these puzzle pieces. First, like what I said, it's very important to understand who you are, very important to understand what things that you believe to be true about yourself are truly you. A lot of them won't be. And what pieces are missing right now that are actually you, and you cannot connect to those identities because you just don't have the rooting yet. You don't have the tools, you don't have the proof. That's something that we can work on the coaching. That's something that we work on the coaching, because that is like the number one piece of finding your purpose, understanding who you are on the conscious and the subconscious level, on the identity level. That is like everything to the purpose, really, truly everything. And being able again to release the identities that are actually not you, and getting the identities that are actually you. Those will show you your purpose crystal clearly. Another thing that you can start to look into, okay, so how do you like to connect with people? How do you like to, first of all, who do you like to connect to? That's a very good question. And how do you like to connect? And this will again like work off of different components, like your values or your needs, or the mediums that you like to express yourself. Like those are again like a bunch of components that I use in the coaching to help you like really pinpoint, okay, what is the type of connection that my soul really craves here? Because again, the ego can come in and plant not very aligned ideas into your head. But just like asking yourself the question, okay, so who I actually love to connect to and how do I love to connect to? And the third thing is basically seeing the value that you bring, which is again like as a whole other topic that I can like go on a tangent on, but I won't maybe in another episode. But like that is again basically the how I serve people, and that is the thing that kind of blocks a lot of people the most, because they just like, again, it comes from this self-image wound of not seeing their value, not seeing how they add value to this world, because we connect value to we connect to value in so many wrong ways. It's just ironic at this point to me, like realizing, oh my god, I still don't see my value like 100% clearly at this point either. But again, it's a journey. So but I see it so much clearer now, like, oh my god, so much more. But that, like, when you are able to do that, again, when you are able to heal the self-image wounds around your value and how you are of service to people, that will show you what is that unique value that you bring into this world. And again, it comes from your gifts. It also comes from your obstacles, like I mentioned, that you solved. So again, bunch of components there. We all look in those in the coaching. We can also look in that in the free clarity call that you can book. So again, like, we can look into whatever you want in that one session. But these are the three main things that you can start to play with right now and see what comes up. See like, oh, okay. And again, be in that space of, I am open to any answer. I am open to letting go any expectation of I have. You don't even have to do it. It's just like, be open to any possibility. And that will bring you so much clarity in itself. So if you need help with any of this, or you want to have a head start, again, there's a free clarity call, a 60-minute free clarity call, which is basically a 60-minute coaching session, intuitive coaching session that I offer to you. And we can look into any part of this, the self-image wounds that you may have that is blocking you from your purpose, the conscious blocks, like the conditioning that you have, the like what is your best next step to get closer to your purpose, or maybe you are already seeing it but you're just like blind to it. Again, there's so many ways that we can blindside ourselves regarding the purpose. So we can check in that on the free clarity call. Find the link in the description below. And I think that was the episode. I don't have anything else to say. Shocking. And thank you so much for being here. I know this was a very like intense, not intense in a good way, like a very filled topic with a lot of different moving parts. Again, I really encourage you to listen to this multiple times and take notes, because like I basically laid out the foundation of how you can find your purpose and how you can find the actually existing pieces of your purpose right now. So it is a very, very good starting point for getting that next level of soul pull that is already waiting for you. Because I promise it is waiting for you. You only need to act on it, go to it, pick it, see it, start to embody it. And you are so capable of doing that. And I cannot wait to see the amazing things that you are building, you are creating through that soul pull. Okay, thank you so much for being here. And we will see each other in the next one. Bye.